Have you ever stopped to wonder what truly separates those who age with energy and vitality from those who begin to decline rapidly after turning 65? The truth might surprise you. While most people around that age are already losing critical abilities, there's a rare group who manage to hold on to remarkable skills, abilities that not only preserve their independence, but also predict a much longer life. What if I told you that there are 7 specific abilities that, if you can still perform them between ages 65 and 80, place you in an elite category of aging that doctors rarely encounter today? I'm going to reveal these powerful indicators that not only prove you're aging exceptionally well, but could also potentially add a decade or more to your life. So before we dive in, take a moment to subscribe and turn on notifications. Because if you care about staying vibrant, independent, and strong for many years to come, you won't want to miss any of the simple but life-changing strategies we'll be sharing. Let me introduce you to Howard, a 78-year-old retired engineer who amazed his doctor during a routine checkup after completing a series of physical and cognitive assessments. The physician glanced up from the charts, visibly impressed. "Howard," he said, "you results match those of someone in their early 60s." Howard was puzzled. He didn't follow any strict health regime, just his usual daily habits. What he didn't realize was that his ordinary routines had preserved abilities that most of his peers had already lost. And these weren't just impressive party tricks. They were powerful predictors that Howard would likely outlive many of his friends by 10 to 15 years. Today, I'll show you exactly what those abilities are, so you can see how you measure up. Sign 1. You can stand up from a chair without using your hands. Can you rise from a seated position without pushing off with your hands? This action might seem simple, but it's actually a profound indicator of longevity. Most people don't realize that by the age of 70, nearly 60% of adults can no longer perform this movement without assistance. Researchers at the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy found this movement so revealing that it's now considered a primary screening tool for predicting lifespan. Dr. Sarah Matthews, the lead researcher, explains, "The ability to stand from a chair without using your hands reflects strong lower body strength, good balance, and neuromuscular coordination, 3 factors closely linked to both lifespan and maintaining independence." Take Deborah, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. One day at her monthly book club, she noticed something odd. She was the only one who could get up from the couch without using her hands or asking for help. "I honestly never thought much about it," she told me. "I just assumed everyone could do it." What Deborah didn't know was that this simple ability meant she had preserved crucial muscle mass and balance that her friends had lost years earlier. 6 months later, 2 of her friends suffered serious falls that led to hospitalizations, while Deborah remained active and independent. Want to test yourself? Sit in a chair with your arms crossed over your chest now, without leaning forward too much or using your hands. Try to stand up. Can you do it smoothly? If so, congratulations. You possess an ability that puts you in a rare and healthy aging category. If you struggled, don't worry. You can rebuild this ability. Start today by doing 5 chair stands every morning before breakfast. Sit down, then stand up without using your hands. If 5 is too many, begin with just 1 and work your way up. Within 3 weeks. You'll notice significant improvement. Don't wait until you've lost this ability entirely. The time to strengthen it is now. Your future independence depends on it. Sign 2. You can hold a conversation while walking. When you're walking with someone, can you easily keep a conversation going without having to stop, slow down, or catch your breath? If you can, you still have a rare ability that most people your age have already lost. Maybe you've noticed that some people your age stop walking when they want to talk. It's not just a personal habit, it's a warning sign. Neurologists at the Mayo Clinic have identified dual task capacity as one of the strongest predictors of brain health and longevity. Dr. James Wilson, head of geriatric neurology, says being able to walk and talk at the same time requires exceptional oxygen use, strong cerebral blood flow, and seamless neurological coordination. When these systems start to falter, walking while talking is often the first thing to become difficult. Think about Gerald, a 76-year-old retired accountant who often walked with friends around his neighborhood. Over time, he noticed that while chatting, many of his friends would slow down to a near stop or walk in silence until they could pause to speak. Gerald, however, kept his normal walking pace, even while discussing complex topics. What he didn't realize was that this natural ability placed him among an elite group in terms of cognitive and cardiovascular health. 3 years later, 2 of his walking buddies had suffered strokes, while Gerald continued to live actively and vibrantly. His doctor explained that Gerald's ability to walk and talk simultaneously had been a clear sign of his superior brain health all along. Here's a simple way to practice during your next walk. Try maintaining your usual pace while reciting a poem, singing a favorite song, or counting backward from 100. If it feels difficult, start with 30 seconds and gradually increase the time. This isn't just a workout, it's brain training that could protect your life. Don't delay each day you wait. Makes these neural pathways harder to rebuild. Sign 3, you can balance on one foot for 10 seconds or more. Can you stand on one foot for at least 10 seconds without holding on to anything? It might seem trivial, but it's actually a major predictor of your overall mortality risk. Try it right now. Lift one foot slightly off the ground and time yourself. A groundbreaking study, published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, followed over 1,700 adults and made a shocking discovery. Participants who couldn't balance on one leg for 10 seconds had an 84% higher risk of death over the next decade compared to those who could. In fact, this simple balance test proved to be a stronger predictor of mortality than age, gender, or even existing health conditions. Take Alice, 74, who made balance training part of her daily routine after retirement during a family gathering. Her sister Irene, also in her 70s, laughed as Alice balanced effortlessly on one foot. "That's silly," Irene said. "Why would anyone our age need to do that?" 3 months later, Irene suffered a severe fall that fractured her hip and led to long-term complications, greatly impacting her independence. Meanwhile, Alice continued to travel, stay active, and live without fear of falling. The best part: this ability can be improved at any age. To start, stand near a sturdy counter or chair for support and practice balancing on one foot for just a few seconds at a time. Practice standing on each foot for 5 seconds, repeating 3 times per foot every day. As you get stronger, gradually work up to balancing for 10 seconds, then 15 seconds. One of the best ways to fit this into your daily routine is by doing it while brushing your teeth or waiting for your coffee to brew. Small moments where you can effortlessly build this life-saving habit. Don't wait for a fall to realize how vital balance is. By the time most people notice their balance has deteriorated, it's often after suffering a major injury. Start strengthening your balance today, even if you can only hold it for a few seconds. Your future self will thank you when you remain steady, confident, and fall-free. While others around you struggle with mobility issues. Sign 4. You remember names and recent events clearly. Are you able to recall the names of people you've recently met? Can you easily remember details from conversations you had just last week without hesitation? If so, you possess a cognitive strength that's becoming increasingly rare among your peers, and it's one of the strongest signs of exceptional brain aging. Neuroscientists at Harvard Medical School have found that the ability to remember names and recent events after the age of 65 reflects remarkably well-preserved neural networks. Dr. Emily Carson explains, contrary to common belief, major memory decline is not a normal part of aging. Adults who retain strong recall abilities, especially for names and recent events, demonstrate superior brain connectivity patterns that are closely tied to longevity and dementia resistance. Take Walter, 75, who surprised his family at a birthday gathering by remembering not only everyone's names, but also the details of conversations they'd had months earlier. His son even joked, "Dad's memory is sharper than mine." What Walter's family didn't realize was that his extraordinary memory wasn't just impressive, it was a powerful sign that his brain was aging much more slowly than those of his peers. Recent research shows that adults who maintain strong memory, recall past 65, have a 47% lower risk of developing dementia and typically live 7 to 10 years longer than those who experience typical age-related memory decline. Here's a simple way to boost this ability. Whenever you meet someone new, immediately use their name in conversation and mentally note a unique characteristic about them. Each night before bed, review the names and details of people you interacted with that day. This simple exercise helps create stronger neural pathways for memory. If you're already struggling a bit with memory, start by focusing on just one name per day and build from there. The key is consistency. Practicing this daily can dramatically improve your recall within a few weeks. Don't accept memory loss as an inevitable part of aging. Those rare individuals who retain strong memory into their 70s and 80s aren't just lucky, they're actively preserving one of the most powerful predictors of a long and independent life. Will you be one of them? Start today before more neural connections fade. Sign 5, you sleep soundly and wake up refreshed. Do you consistently sleep through the night and wake up feeling truly rested? If so, you have a powerful physiological advantage that's becoming increasingly rare after age 65, and it could add several years to your life. How did you sleep last night? Did you wake up multiple times, or did you enjoy deep, uninterrupted rest? According to researchers at Stanford University's Center for Sleep Sciences, high quality sleep becomes harder to maintain with age, yet it remains one of the strongest predictors of longevity. Dr. Richard Thompson states, our research shows that adults over 65 who maintain efficient sleep cycles have much lower levels of inflammatory markers, better cognitive function, and a 32% reduced risk of cardiovascular events compared to those with fragmented sleep patterns. Consider Diana, 77, who made sleep hygiene a priority throughout her life, while her friends increasingly depended on sleep medications and still complained of exhaustion. Diana maintained natural, healthy sleep patterns and woke each morning feeling energized. She didn't realize that this habit placed her in an extraordinary category of aging. Her doctor later revealed that her sleep efficiency matched that of someone 20 years younger, a major factor contributing to her outstanding health compared to her peers who developed chronic illnesses. Here's how you can start improving your sleep today. Establish a consistent bedtime and wake up time. Even on weekends, avoid screens at least 1 hour before bed, as blue light disrupts melatonin production. Keep your bedroom cool between 65 to 68 degrees and completely dark. If you wake up during the night, avoid checking the time as it can create anxiety and make it harder to fall back asleep. Most importantly, if you're relying on sleep medications, talk to your doctor about transitioning to natural sleep strategies. While it might be difficult at first, natural sleep offers far better long-term protection for your health than medicated sleep. Never underestimate the power of quality sleep. It's not just about feeling rested, it's about giving your body critical time to repair cells, eliminate brain toxins, and regulate essential hormones. Those rare individuals who maintain excellent sleep after 65 aren't simply fortunate, they're actively extending their lives with every restful night. Will you join them? Start implementing these changes tonight, because every night of poor sleep accelerates aging in ways you can't afford to ignore. Sign 6, you can hold a meaningful conversation without dominating it. Have you ever noticed how some people your age tend to dominate conversations or repeat the same stories over and over without even realizing it? If you're still able to engage in conversations where you listen as much as you speak, you have a rare and impressive skill, and it's a strong sign of exceptional brain health. After 65, social neuroscientists at UCLA have found that the ability to maintain balanced reciprocal conversations is closely tied to superior cognitive function and emotional regulation in older adults. According to Dr. Amanda Sutton, reciprocity, the ability to listen attentively and respond thoughtfully without turning the dialogue into a monologue, reflects remarkable activity in the prefrontal cortex, she adds. This part of the brain responsible for social awareness and impulse control typically declines sharply with age-older adults who maintain conversational balance after 65 show extraordinary preservation of executive function, which is closely linked to longer lifespan and stronger cognitive health. Think about Victor, now 81, whose friends and family genuinely loved spending time with him. While many of his peers became more isolated, Victor kept thriving in his relationships because talking with him always felt refreshing and two-sided. He asked thoughtful questions, listened carefully, and shared his own thoughts without ever monopolizing the discussion. What Victor didn't realize was that this social ability wasn't just making him great company, it was also reflecting exceptional brain preservation that predicted a longer, healthier life. Yeah, the exciting part, you can strengthen this ability with just a little mindful practice. Here's how in your next conversation, consciously monitor your speaking to listening ratio. Set a mental goal to ask at least 2 questions for every story you share. Practice active listening by briefly summarizing what the other person has said before responding. This isn't just good etiquette, it's powerful brain training that strengthens the neural circuits, critical for cognitive longevity. If you notice you've been talking for more than a minute without interaction, take a pause and invite the other person's input. Don't underestimate the power of this skill. By age 75, most adults experience a noticeable decline in their ability to maintain conversational balance. If you're still engaging meaningfully, you're demonstrating remarkable brain resilience. And if you feel you've lost a bit of that sharpness, don't worry, these social skills can be rebuilt at any age. But the sooner you start, the stronger. Your results will be sign 7. You adapt to new technology without major resistance. Are you still willing to learn new technologies without getting overly frustrated? Can you navigate a smartphone use apps or figure out new digital tools when needed? If so, you possess a rare form of cognitive flexibility that becomes increasingly uncommon after 65, and it's a powerful predictor of your future independence. And longevity research from MIT's Age Lab reveals that a person's openness and ability to adapt to technological advances is one of the clearest signs of preserved cognitive health in aging. Dr. Joseph Coughlin, director of the Age Lab, explains older adults who can learn and adapt to new technologies display superior neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections. This flexibility not only makes life easier, but also predicts extended independence and a significantly lower risk of cognitive decline. Consider Emily, a 76-year-old who embraced smartphones, online banking, and video calls without hesitation, while many of her peers claimed they were too old or that technology was too complicated. Emily remained curious and willing to learn. When the pandemic arrived, she transitioned smoothly to video calls, online shopping, and digital health services. Meanwhile, her tech resistant friends found themselves increasingly isolated and dependent on others. What Emily didn't realize was that her adaptability wasn't just keeping her socially connected, it was actively preserving critical neural pathways that promote longevity. The most inspiring part, adapting to new technology, isn't about having prior experience or natural talent. It's about maintaining the right mindset and practicing consistently. Here's how you can strengthen this vital ability. Starting today, pick one digital skill you've been avoiding. Whether it's setting up a new app, using online banking, or learning video chat, spend just 10 minutes a day practicing using online tutorials or asking someone for help if needed. Most importantly, when you encounter a challenge, shift your mindset. Instead of thinking, I'm too old for this, say, I haven't learned this yet. This simple change activates different neural pathways and drastically improves your ability to master new skills. Don't underestimate how rare and precious this ability is. After 70, more than 60% of adults show significant resistance to learning new technologies. If you're still willing and able to adapt, you're demonstrating extraordinary cognitive flexibility that could add years of independence and vitality to your life. If this area feels challenging for you, don't worry, start small today. Even just 10 minutes of practice a day can help strengthen the neural pathways that keep your brain adaptable, engaged, and biologically younger. These 7 abilities aren't just impressive, they're powerful markers that you are aging at a much slower rate than most of your peers. If you can perform even 3 or 4 of these functions with ease, you possess an extraordinary level of vitality for your age. And if some of them feel difficult right now, the simple strategies I've shared with you can help you begin rebuilding and strengthening these abilities, starting today. Remember, these aren't just convenient skills. They're powerful predictors of how long and how well you'll live in the years to come. The exceptional few who preserve these capabilities into their 70s and 80s aren't simply lucky. They are actively safeguarding the functions that protect independence, vitality, and a longer lifespan. If you found this information valuable, take a moment right now to hit the like button and let me know in the comments which of these 7 abilities you still have. I would love to hear where you stand. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming video, where we'll dive into simple daily exercises you can do to strengthen each of these abilities even further. And if there's someone in your life over 65 who could benefit from this information, please share this video with them. It could completely transform how they approach aging, and it might even add years to their